And here we are again with another episode of Cardboard I've Got No Clue Conversations. Bob was just going ahead giving me a little bit of info.
Hey, apparently, wait a minute. Not all of us are clueless. Not all of us are clueless. Let's qualify that.
So
holy
let's
shit.
see. I'm
going to open it. I'm going to open it right now.
I've not been paying any attention. And Bob,
here's the big news right behind me, right here, folks. Biggest news in Magic in decades. What's at my thumb, guys?
XX out of 500.
I don't care about serialized cards. I don't.
You don't, but let me tell you, the collecting world does. This is a very big deal. It's a very, very big deal. You don't care about it, but I'll bet you would have liked to pull the $5,000 Viscera Seer out of one of your secret layers.
I'd sell it immediately if it was ever
okay. And I wouldn't doubt that most people do. I don't care what people want to do with it. It's big news that they're putting it in the product. Also, I don't even have it on me because I was, just trying to look at the spoilers to see. You guys know that Brothers Wars got spoiled, right? A number of cards, not all of
them. Some leaks, some teasers, some trailer kind of action.
Yeah, I'm super excited for Brothers War. So
that's cool. It's definitely an artifact set. These are from Brothers War. They're going to have serialized cards in Brothers War.
Now, and Bob, are you
like Worm Coil Engine or not? Worm Coil Engine sees a lot of play.
I did pick up. I saw a recent thing. I caught a couple of minutes of it. It was short. It was very sour instead of sweet. But I did learn that in Brothers War, there is some supposition of Transformers cards. Are you looking to get a serialized Transformers card?
No, those won't be serialized, but there will be Transformer cards. So we don't know if this is the only serialized card, and if WotC was smart, it would be. It would be hyper rare, like 0.01% of packs have it. So it's in like 1 in 100 cases kind of thing. At any rate, it's big news. This is big news, maybe not so much for the player base, but there are some big player base. Let's just jump right into it. Shit, let's go for it, man.
I was just going to say, we started off real hot tonight. Hey, big ups to both Matt and Bob for joining me this evening, and to everyone down there in the comments section, also tuning in later. Thank you all for joining us this evening. As you can tell, we are all quite excited for the new turn of events in Magic the Gathering. So if you like this type of content, check out MTG Gaming Bob, where you can see great stuff coming in almost daily, or here on Saturdays.
That's not true.
I've been so lazy. So forgive me for not doing more on my own channel, but I do try to have somewhat of a life outside of all of the traversing the MTG metaverse, meaning I show up at a lot of different content creators' shows. I even got kind of fussed at, sorry, pause, that I couldn't make yours on Wednesday, but I haven't figured out how to be two places at once. Ed, we still got to figure out a way to get live with you, bro. So I loved your talk today, or at least one of your latest videos about the post-apocalyptic state of Magic. Hopefully we're going to get into that and a whole lot. There's so much to talk about tonight, guys, and I am caffeine fueled, so I'm ready to start ripping. Dude, so I'm just going to go over some of the shit. So we've got a new Planeswalker for Urza. We've got a bunch of artifacts in Brothers War that was pseudo-spoiled. We have Legends packs in the Walmart super mystery boxes that had the revised packs in them. What else this week? So much stuff. The LGS, the big box stores, basically getting word there's some sort of scuttlebutt. I don't know how official it is, but they're not going to carry trading card games anymore because there's too much theft, too much loss. Big week in Magic. Only a couple of weeks left till MTG 30, and there's more stuff that's even been going on there. They were announcing really shitty prizes for the cosplay contest. I think it was like a $200, I don't know, like Michael's gift card, Joanne Fabric, some bullshit. I'm like, wow, dude, take half of my VIP ticket and give it out as just a cash bonus, which would be way more appreciated than a $200 freaking Joanne Fabric gift card. It's like,
so Matt, I've got to ask, is that gift card not something you're excited for? Are you not looking to spruce up your new cosplay with that gift card?
Like I'm not as poo-poo on the. It's still $200 towards a place where they're going to shop. I mean, Joanna Fabrics has like all kinds of cosplay stuff. There's all kinds of like hacks that you can like grab like PVA foam and other. It's going to go to use. But I agree that it is a strange. I thought they increased the dollar amount though. I thought they like changed it.
Anyways, I don't want that to like dominate. That's just kind of like a minor like FU from WotC, if you ask me. Especially when they can put, Legends packs in freaking, the MJ Holdings. And don't tell me that MJ Holdings doesn't have a tap directly into WotC's storehouses. They have to.
There's got to be something going on there. The way that they get packs and such.
Yeah.
And even with other companies. Recently, I got a Power Cube in one of those nice acrylic cases, and it came with relic tokens. Now, I don't understand how they would have gotten their hands on that. There must be some behind-the-scenes shenanigans going on.
Did you guys see the Solarian Academy, the pack that he did? He did 3 boxes of Dominaria United collector's boxes, and then he opened 1 pack of Legends. He opened a Tabernacle.
Nice.
In the single pack of Legends that he bought from us. It was just a loose pack that he bought from.
Yeah, I saw that. It was one of those Bob.
The first time I've ever seen him swear like that.
Moments. Yeah.
He was like,
I haven't watched it, I heard about it, but I think it's an unfair comparison. First of all, there's nothing wrong with them putting the Legends cards sprinkled into Dominaria United collector boxes. There's nothing wrong with that. There are many other things that you can fuss at them about, but that's not one of them. Actually, I think that Dominaria United is a fine set. I think that Domain is a very mid-tier mechanic in the game. It's not the worst. I mean, we're not talking party or morph. It's a usable. It's nowhere near as strong as mutate or landfall. Those are much stronger type of mechanics. But at any rate, Dominaria United is a fine set.
Say, as far as entries go, for just base mechanics out of the set, that's a great point. Though, is what we're getting with Domain is just a solid baseline. We know instantly that we're getting something usable right out of the box. So it's just pure improvement from middle of the road already.
I agree. And at any rate, I think people are shitting on this. Here's the problem. It's all a matter of perspective, right? Meaning that the financial world is a mess out there right now. So everybody feels worse about it. Everybody's watching their bottom line more closely because they don't feel that there's an endless supply of money going to make it into their wallets. So prices are going up from inflation. Hey, guess what? When you give out free tendies and government stimulus checks, you have inflation. When you raise the minimum wage, and realistically it's being raised above minimum wage, but when you raise McDonald's workers from $5 an hour to $15 an hour, we got to pay for it. You don't get that shit for free. Like I got into an argument with somebody that there's no free lunch, there's no free tendies, there's no free money out there. Somebody eventually ends up paying. And there just aren't enough working people in the United States to cover the bill of giving out billions of free dollars to people for years. You got to pay for it at some point. So that is tainting the perspective of all this free money and crypto and free fall and the stock market with all the speculation. It's you got to shake off a lot of the excess. This is the headache. This is the hangover. This is beginning to pay the piper for everything that we've gotten over the last couple of years for not going to work, getting free money, and buying Magic cards. Sorry. This is what happens.
Look at that, Coach, already with trolling. I love it.
I sure did. And I still believe in it. And I think over time it'll prove itself out.
I think that's one of the big things. And we've seen recently, Rudy just put out a video recently about that exact same thing, is that some of the sets that people are passing right by are in fact clearly going to accumulate higher value as we go forward.
Sure.
If you're looking at this kind of a game for, I want to buy a single, I got this rare and I hope it turns a $1, versus I've got this box and I'm going to wait a decade and I hope it turns 100. There's a big difference in how people are looking.
You have to shit on Modern Horizons 2 at this point too. Why is it, cheaper than it's ever been? Yeah, it's a shitty set. No, it's a great set. It's going to appreciate once the supplies dry up. Yes, these things are going to appreciate. And I want to say that about Magic in general. Now, single cards, I'm not a big, you've never heard me spec on any kind of single cards other than like triomes, I think are just
Oh,
solid.
no, Bob talks about betas all the time. It's incredible, guys. I'll record it for you one day.
Pull my pants down in the public. I don't advise. I think it's very risky to invest in single cards compared to investing in sealed.
Absolutely. And I mean, there's no security, and I hate to say it, beyond the reserve list. And even with some of those, I'm quite tentative about buying into. I recently was going through a stack of cards, big old pile I've got sitting over here on the edge of my desk. No idea what it was. I found 7 Mystic Remoras.
There's a
And
new Ristic Remora. Holy shit.
I found
Ristic Remora. Oh no.
I found 15 copies of Call of the Copper Codes. And I remember back just to a couple of months ago, I must have been stoned up one night and I bought all of them thinking, oh, Streets of New Capenna Commander decks have Call of the Copper Codes. This is such a great buy at $1.50. And it wasn't.
Yeah,
and that's one of the problems where buying into singles can get you into a very hot pot of water, where it seems as though the clear winner for me is still going to be sealed product.
Amen. And I'm not saying don't open product. I open product. Shit, I opened a collector box of 2022 with my mom just to open something. Holy fucking kick in the nuts. That was a terrible, terrible box. So, I think that you just need to go into these things knowing what you're getting into, right? The people that get upset are the ones that buy 3 or 4 packs of collector or something and, walk away with $3 or $4 worth of cards out of $60 investment. And then they get all pissed off and like, this game sucks. Well, no, that's the scratch off nature of what you're doing. And look at what you're doing.
Right. There's a huge difference when you're opening a pack looking for a winning ticket versus looking to have a good play piece for a game that you enjoy. And it's very difficult to have that disengagement between I found a rare versus I found a mythic when you're opening a pack. And it's still difficult, especially for me as a content creator, to have that difference. But as I'm getting further and further into the proxy world, I'm coming to realize cards that I love versus cards that I want to try and keep around for a price point.
So I want to make this very clear. My perspective on investing. And I think I've said this before. So let me put it as clearly as I can. If even with sealed investing, invest in the sealed product that you don't mind being stuck with if things go to zero. Let me just try to eat my mic here. I don't mind if I have to end up opening all the sealed product on my shelves just for funsies someday with friends or whatever, because, oh, well, it didn't go as well as I expected. The world would have to completely go to shit for it to become completely worthless, first of all. And if that happens, well, then what do you invest in that doesn't go to shit? Beans and bullets and guns? So I have a bunch of that too, by the way. So I don't have beans. I have a lot of bullets and guns. And it's nonsensical to make that argument. I agree with Rudy. It's nonsensical to make the argument that it's a bad time to get into Magic. It's not. It's actually a great time. It's a great time to get into any investing because it will turn. And if it doesn't turn, then nothing matters. Nothing matters at all. So, it has to either go to shit or it has to go up. I think Rudy kind of alluded to that at some point during one of his streams. He's getting a little frustrated. Now, I'm not a Rudyite, meaning I don't say buy everything. I say look at it. Buy shit, first of all, that appeals to you. I just bought a case. My last purchase, you guys take a guess what it is. I bought a case of something. It was my latest purchase. I just bought a case. Came in this week. Can any of you guess what that case is? And Matt, you can cheat, so you're not allowed to answer.
Oh, I was just going to say, I'm giving it to Matt first. But if I've got to guess.
Because I've already sent him a picture, so he already knows what it is.
I already know.
You want me to throw a poll, Bob? Is that what this is?
Or we can just ask people in chat. Do they think the last case of sealed? What was the last sealed product I bought? Right, and it came in this week. Holy shit, we have a winner.
Are you going for double 2?
Eh.
You going for the old CLB? Is Clay right?
Got it. Clay got it.
Hey,
First
look at
got
that.
It right
Big
on the
ups to
money.
you, Clay.
And Matt could even answer why I bought it, and I don't mind being stuck with it. You know, I bought it.
Is there some power you see behind that set? Is there some juice?
No, he just got it really cheap.
And why? Why did I get it at all?
Because it was really cheap. And it's a good set because it's, Commander Legends.
We're going to draft it.
It'll be fun to draft.
Our group is specifically going to crack these, draft with it, and have fun. I didn't like some of the responses in our group. One of them said, it was a really weird draft on Arena. I'm like, yeah, this is going to be 4-player Commander, not Arena. But it was, not only was it cheap, that's not why I got it. I got it because it's something I'm interested in drafting with, something I don't mind the product. And I hope that a lot of people understand that. When you get into sealed, be prepared to be stuck with it. And then look at it and say, is it something I'm still excited about having? What am I going to do with it if I get stuck with it? Right.
I was laying on the floor, stretching my back out as I do, typically most days. Sitting in a chair a lot, you got to stretch your back out, make it nice. But I have my bookshelf behind me, and I'm seeing like Adventures of the Forgotten Realm draft boxes and whatever. I have all my sealed product there. And I grabbed a sealed box, and I was like, I kind of want to open one of these just for fun. And then I didn't, because I was like, oh, the EV of those boxes aren't that great.
Well, that's unfortunate. I plan to go over to my boss's house, and I don't know what we're gonna crack open next. It's probably either going to be Modern Horizons 2 or Double Masters 2022. But so when you're investing, folks, I don't recommend people that don't know jack shit about Magic to invest in sealed Magic. That's a terrible investment, because you have to realize that, this product could be volatile. It could drop significantly, even the sealed. And just so long as you don't mind being, I have sealed boxes of Star Wars Destiny, for fuck's sake, right? That's a dead game. And I bought them after it went dead so I could come over, to Matt's house and we'll do some draft tournaments with Star Wars Destiny, because I like the game. So I've got like 15 boxes of it ready to be cracked and drafted.
And I can absolutely understand that. I mean, if they stopped making the game Monopoly, the board game, and I still had a sealed copy of it, $24.99 or whatever at Walmart, and I was able to bust that out and have a good time with my friends afterward, even after they stopped making it, after it went out of style, you can still have an enjoyable time with that with your friends. And that's one of the things about buying into Magic, that even if you're not thinking about the investability, about the monetary aspect of it, one of the only reasons that I play Magic is that it's really fun. I mean, that's why I went out to an island to play it with a bunch of idiots.
Yeah. So I mean, that would be my very first rule about Magic. Only buy things you don't mind keeping forever.
Yeah. Something you want to have fun with.
Now, there are smarter ways to do it and dumber ways to do it. No offense. And if the guy who bought 1,500 Scarab Gods is watching this, don't ever do that again. That's a terrible idea.
Oh, you dumb
Speculating that hard on a reprintable card that's too much money in one bucket. And plus, how do you even get rid of that without like ruining the value of the card itself?
They're gonna flood the market trying to sell it at.
So it's just terrible. And that's fine, dude man says there, nice, Bob. I can't keep it sealed, but I do have graded for an investment and a ton of cards as well. Well, maybe a half ton. Yeah, it's fun. I buy white, lots of white. Okay. I like white too. White's actually my favorite color in Magic. I like the things that it does. I like rules. I'm a rule-oriented person. Did well in the military for that. I do programming for a living, which follows a lot of rules. I like rules. I'm a structured person. And, white is very rule-oriented, kind of.
Yeah.
Setting the stage. I like that. At any rate, have fun with it, folks. Have fun with it, even investing, even buying. I enjoy the boxes, and I enjoy just the ritual of getting a sealed case of something going down, reorganizing my shelf, putting the sealed case where it belongs, knowing where everything is, kind of doing a quick visual accounting of my inventory, and I enjoy looking at it. It's not enjoy looking at it because of the monetary value. I don't know what it's worth.
You know, when I look at my trade binder, it's a closed portfolio. I don't look at the outside of that and think, wow, I've done a great thing here. There's value in that. When I look at that little wall of sealed boxes I have, there's definitely a different feel I have. Like when I tune into Dual Brain and I see all those collector hanger packs, it's like,
too.
Wow, there's value in that. Same thing with Moxman, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, there are lots of ways to enjoy it, folks, and the monetary part of it should just be. And let me. This should be like in really bold letters. If I could put that across the screen, you know, monetary value in Magic is just a fringe benefit of it. That should not be the primary goal of it. Sorry, no matter what you do. Now, if you're making a shitload of money in millions, good on you, Rudy, and whatever other channel out there makes a shitload of money on it. We don't. I can promise you, none of the three guys you see on this screen makes any significant money at Magic.
Absolutely.
I just spend a lot of money on Magic.
So, I'm at a huge $0 profit.
I haven't gained money in Magic because it's just sitting there. So one of the problems that I have with investing in sealed product is like knowing where to expose of it at the right time. Right now is not the time, but even if like next year everything doubles, I still wouldn't 100% really know where to sell it where I wouldn't feel uncomfortable selling. Like I don't trust eBay anymore as a seller. I don't trust it. Yeah, the buyer can pull too much crap on you, and all your stuff can just be completely taken from you, and you get nothing for it. Thanks for shopping at eBay; they're great. Don't like them. And then now that TCG Player is being bought by eBay, don't like that. So then now at this point, it basically is going to be probably Facebook Marketplace just because it's in person. Don't have to worry about a company trying to, refund your money because the seller said they didn't get the thing that they definitely got, stuff like that. But I still enjoy buying the sealed. I think I like it more than stocks and bonds and crypto. Like I value my Magic cards way more than the crypto that I own. Like I own crypto, but I only own it because it was doing well and I farmed some of it. So it's like kind of, it's one of those things where having physical product feels better to have than some kind of digital asset. At least you got something physical. I like physical things.
Yeah, I again enjoy the whole process of it. Enjoy doing the research on it. Speaking of that, let's get into some of the hot news for this week. Like I'm angsting this week, so I hope some of you are as well. Hopefully you're in good enough financial shape that you're angsting over what you see over my shoulder here with the serialized worm coil engine going to be in Brothers War. Let's take a look at Brothers War. Can you bring up the screen that I'm sharing, please? All right, so let's just get right into it. So there's some hotness right off the rip here, folks. Right off the rip. We'll do I don't know, Matt. This will give you some time to go look up if you haven't already for your sleeve cell shred. So we'll get into this first. But I want to go through these. There's not a lot of them. You guys should already know Phyrexia Revoker. The bigger thing is, the nice retro borders that they have on things. Howling Mine, a staple in so many different decks. Really hard to read the text here on the Urza's Planewalker, but I want to point something out. Two things, actually. So one of the things, it looks kind of fake-ish. If you look, there's like it's split between two cards here. Something's funky there. Additionally,
you have to put the half of both cards to make the Urza Planeswalker. You have to use both the Mightstone and the Weakstone and Urza to make that Planeswalker.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, it's horrible. It's really bad.
So where you have to have two cards, you actually physically have to have the Mightstone Weakstone card, and on the back of it is half of the
Urza Lord Protector says pay 7 colorless. If you have both of them, you as a sorcery can flip them to the Planeswalker. It's 5 mana to play the Mightstone, 3 mana to play the Urza, then at sorcery speed you have to flip both of them just to get the Planeswalker, and you lose the benefit of Urza. I hate it.
I don't know. It seems interesting.
I was so excited for it, but I hate it now.
It makes me feel like Yu-Gi-Oh! Like I just played all of Exodia all at once.
and then he doesn't even do that much. Ooh. Like he's okay, but like he should be busted. He should be insane for what you have to go through to get to him, and it's just kind of like, it'd be good if it was like a 7-mana planeswalker without all the bullcrap.
The work is what makes it special, isn't it? Though.
Well, sure.
I don't know. It seems like a decent, juicy card to me. So the Mike Stone, Wheatstone is so now that makes more sense why this is just kind of very meh. And actually, I was kind of just for the Urza card as well. I didn't know it was on the backside, so I can't because when I click on him, it doesn't show it.
The actual Urza card is good.
At any rate,
there's a different Urzas I saw in spoilers.
We're just gonna keep going through them. I'm gonna go through them at this speed. You guys should know what Lodestone Golem is. Okay, not all that great, but we're getting reprints of Baleful Strix, which always does well in whatever format it's in. Skull Clamp in retro. Hello,
so good.
I mean, that's gonna.
I like the Warhammer Skull Clamp better.
Right there.
I'm definitely gonna go for this one. Wormcoil Engine, yeah, solid. Preordain, great card. Jalem Tome, it's good. I'm not in love with Jalem Tome. Ivory Tower, meh. Sorry, just don't love Ivory Tower. Command Tower, Reliquary Tower, Soul Ring. Kind of disappointed that they reprinted it in the retro border because they just did that for that promo card. It kind of makes the promo card not feel.
Oh, but look at that Command Tower. Even that version of Command Tower, that's tasty.
Is it though?
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. See, you should have had a third thing for this poll. You should have been like, I like both.
No, you can't has both. You cannot has.
I'm not voting.
So here we have finally Mishra on a card. How many?
Can you go ahead and zoom in? I'll give you a little read there if you like, Bob.
See, I'm excited for both Mishra and Urzas because I wanted to make a Mishra deck. I wanted to make a deck that completely focused on the.
I'll click on it just so other people can.
The 1/1 artifact thing, where you get 1/1 for each artifact.
Wow, they don't have more text on it. That's weird.
So we have Mishra, Eminent one for 2. Blue, a black, and a red. You have a 5/4 legendary human artificer. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a token that's a copy of target non-creature artifact you control, except its name is Mishra's War Form, and it's a 4/4 construct artifact creature. In addition, it gains haste until end of turn. Sacrifice it at the beginning of next end step.
Yeah, he's kind of weak. The other one's way better. Urza's way better, in my opinion.
So, anyways, but we have Mishra on a card finally.
Well, I guess he is the epitome of weak stone.
Urza is
weak stone.
Because it has affinity for artifacts, it completely bypasses or helps pay for.
No, it does not have affinity for artifacts. It has affinity for artifact creatures.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing.
No,
but it helps you get past.
No, dude, not even close.
Sure.
Oh, look at that. We've got a 2-to-1 ratio already. It seems as though these old version border cards are really coming across well with the community.
See, I don't like this version of. I don't mind the artifacts, but this looks hideous to me. That background looks horrible.
The gold border.
You're not a fan of the ivory poo?
Gold border. No. I like the artifacts, but not these. But I like this card. I hope there's a non-crap version of this card because I want to build this commander deck for sure.
Well, I'm sure this is going to be the only border unless they do like
exactly what I wanted in a
version. Sorry to cut you off there, Matt, but I honestly think that we're going to see 5 minimum. Call it now. Put it down in the comments so we cannot forget this. I believe that there will be 5. Okay, look at me right now. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to blow my big dumb face up. I think there will be 5 different versions of each one of these cards.
Every single card, or just the cards that are
all of the Mishra and Urza?
All of these chase cards, the Mishra, the Urza. I think we'll see a borderless version. I think we'll see a regular version. I think we'll see an old school version. I think we're going to see so many combinations of
It's gonna be
artwork
a surge
that it will
foil.
be very ubiquitous. We're going to see this thing everywhere, the pair of them.
Dude, this Queen Kayla Bing Bong, dude, it's so much reading. It hurts my face. It's complicated mechanics.
Ooh, so it seems as though that Mishra is the commander deck version.
That's unfortunate.
Interesting.
I also noticed on those cards, bottom left, they don't have card numbers.
And I've got to say,
they're in the very bottom.
The comment section to Cothern Cards, to Pack Opening Addict, to Dual Brain, Dude Man, to everyone out there who's keeping me straight and in line. Thank you very much for this information, because I am learning all of this right here as well.
So here's the number 2. It looks like 2 of 36-ish.
Either a 5 or an 8 or a 6.
one of those. At any rate, I don't know what that means. Like 35. I don't know.
There's gonna be 36 or 5 or 8 commander decks.
Jacob, wouldn't that be something tasty? Imagine a commander deck with all retro frame cards with the
that could be the collector version that like they did with whatchamacallit.
With a
we only have a few more cards to get.
Yeah. Imagine if they did an all retro version.
So recruitment officer, fine card for an uncommon. Mishra's Foundry, very on flavor. It's okay as a card. I don't think it's busted in any fashion. Surge Engine, I don't think it's busted. It's okay. We know that now. I'm assuming with these art cards, I'm assuming that's what these are. That we're also going to get Ashnod, Hercule, Gix, Saheeli, and Teferi in this set. If they're going to have the art cards, I'm assuming that they're going to have some purpose in this set. So we'll have to see. Hercule, has that ever had an actual card? I mean, they've had Hercule's Recall, but I don't know that we've actually ever seen Hercule or, wow. Actually, I don't know if we've seen any of these three before.
I was gonna say, I don't know. I've only heard of Ashnod's Altar, but I don't know that I've ever seen.
Well, there's Ashnod's Battle Gear. There's a few Ashnod things, just like Gix. So we get to finally see who the ring was for. Hercule. I don't think any of these three actually had any character cards, if you want to call them that.
Well, look at this. We've got all sorts of informed subscribers down here. And thank you very much, not just for your support, but for your time and hanging out here with us tonight. I hope Opening Addict enjoys these lands. For that, enchantment deck, I could imagine some of these islands and plains with these big artifact creatures really, fitting right into that kind of theme.
Yeah, I really dig that there's something on the land cards. There's some sort of construct rather than just land.
Yeah, I mean, when we were in Zendikar Rising and they had the full art lands, the artifacts that we saw, those big floating monoliths, those were supposed to be a throwback to how they sealed away the Phyrexians. Where in this, we see the Phyrexians coming back, being a huge presence in this set. And I recently did a narrated 5-person game of Commander where we were telling a story the whole time, almost D&D like. And these bleed right into that, along with the Godzilla lands. So I think there's going to be something to these.
Yeah, I dig it. I dig the lands. I like them as basics. So in short, I was not planning on buying any Brothers War. Shit. Way to dig into my wallet, Watsy.
I was.
I know a lot of people were. Because I definitely want another case of Unfinity. I want that.
I don't want any Unfinity product. I don't like it.
Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. And if you don't play it with me, that's fine. I'll find other people that'll play it with me.
I'll play it.
I'll go
over
to
I'm wrong.
And we'll play.
I hope that I'm wrong, but I think it's going to be boring. I don't know. It's just there's so much.
One thing it won't be will be boring.
I think
there's going to be a lot of arguments, but I don't think it'll be boring. But certainly, just like with most things, it just depends on the mood of the people that you're playing with to how much fun you're having.
Sure.
So
I'm often proved wrong of how much fun I'll have. I hate games like what is the one? It's like social games where they're the card games. They're just like act out something or like there's like a theme. You're like you have to like have like a certain accent and everybody votes who had the best accents. Like those games,
Right? Yeah, that's one of the
fun to
reasons
me,
why
but
I
they're
don't
fun
play
with
Meta.
the friends, you know.
Yeah, I recently just got invited, so I'm going to start up my first ever D&D campaign. Never played as a character before. I've only DM'd, and I'm super excited to get into it. And part of that is the role-playing aspect of it. And I don't know if I want to do those crazy voices as well. I'm not playing MetaZoo. I'm playing D&D.
yeah, I don't do voices. You can ask Matt. He DM'd for us once, and I'm not big into the role playing aspect of D&D is not my thing. I like the mechanics. I like rolling dice. I like figuring out puzzles. I can even get into like, you know, the story of what's going on, the lore of what's happening.
Yeah.
But when it starts getting into like, I'm a nerd. Like I have no shame in being a geeky fucking nerd that loves most nerddom stuff.
Cheers to that.
But there's just some things that are just not truly in my wheelhouse. Like I had a friend who was a big time comic book collector when I was growing up, and we'd have to go to the comic book store every freaking Friday. And I bought $30 worth of weed. He bought $30 worth of comic books. And, you know, I didn't bash on him for it. I was just more into smoking weed than reading comic books. Now, he liked smoking weed and reading the comic books. So I guess the best of both worlds for him.
Yeah.
At any rate, I'll tell you, you know, getting high and playing Dungeons and Dragons was a fucking blast when I was growing up. Did it with the guys I worked with at Chili's, and that was the best time I had playing any game ever. Just
so
absolutely
it's funny enough that you say it that way, because I'm actually looking forward to it. It's actually with a bunch of people from my office. I'm in a new office building. We've got about 60 people that work in my close vicinity, and we got 4 people. A very experienced dungeon master. He's ran over 15 campaigns, and we're able to hang out after work in our conference rooms. So we're going to have an entire conference room like we're renting out at a hotel. Huge 60-inch TV if we want to throw anything up. So I'm super excited for it. And in all honesty, I'm more excited for that D&D campaign than I am for these fucking Galaxy foils. They are absolutely just like Pokemon cards, Dual Brain. You are 100% correct. The moment I saw these, I was absolutely aghast at how unlike a Magic card they look in a bad way. I think this is easily, hands down, in Pat's opinion, the worst foiling I have ever seen on a Magic card.
Are you talking about like people are like we weren't even sure they were Magic cards?
Yeah, they've got these odd little stars on them. I do not like them very much whatsoever. Bob's going to go ahead and pull some up right now, because as much as he says he's not, he's quite good with that there internet.
Well, it kind of died for some reason. I don't understand why.
It happened like 3 weeks ago too.
Oh, hold on. Oh, because it went to a new tab. Hold on. Sorry.
But he's not talking about the Galaxy Lands. He's talking about the way that's there's the
no. Those are Galaxy foils. No, those are the ones I pull up are Galaxy foils.
Yeah. So there are the space basic lands, the space shock lands.
Oh, I fucking love the lands. The lands are fantastic. Well, that's the only thing from Infinity I'm happy about, honestly.
So I have the image up, and it's hard to capture. I'm going to try to zoom in. So what you'll notice, and I guess I would, son of a bitch, really, I can't zoom in on this.
You want me to share my? I have a better picture. Let me share my.
Okay.
Oh, those are the
so can you guys see my cursor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you see these little splotches that are supposed to be kind of little planets and stars and shit in the background. They kind of look like somebody spilt some or did some overspray. That's the Galaxy foiling. You can see it especially here in like the title bars here. You can see that's not there on the regular foils. It's all this extra layer of stars and sparklies, glitter dripped on top of it It's funny because on this page they have Pokemon cards with the same treatment at the bottom of it.
I feel like those lands, maybe not those. I think the shock lands, because they have astrology in the background, like moons and suns and shit. I actually think those will be. It'll look better with the sparkly foils.
I'm into it in any case. I think it's fine. So what I'm not into is when they curl like a freaking potato chip.
Yeah. Well, do Pokemon cards coil? Maybe this is the same.
Curled? No.
It's funny you mentioned curling.
treatment.
I came back from a camping trip with BBD and all the boys out there on the lake. I got back and I had a whole bunch of curled cards. You know, I kept them put away. It was probably about 10, maybe 14 days later, about 2 weeks. And oh, the disappointment. I opened up a Teferi's Protection extended, foiled out. And boy, that shit looked like a Pringles. Terrible.
I've heard some really bad news about the Warhammer 40K.
Yeah.
That the
this is a great
the collector.
Yeah,
I guess it's the collector version are like particularly Pringle from what I'm hearing.
It's interesting you point that out. I watched that Ascarius,
yeah,
so that New Zealander who opens up a lot of cards really early. Now he had one of those collector decks. He pulled that out, and God, it looked just like sour cream and onion.
And they're $1,300. You see that?
I wasn't going to buy him in the first place, but that's really bad.
They were $570. They jumped to fucking $1,300 because if you have one that isn't messed up, then they're worth billions.
It's funny. I had a pre-order. I had bought a pre-order of the collector's version and 2 pre-orders of one of each of the regular versions of the decks. And I decided to cancel all of them because I'm just going to buy singles of the product. And I feel a little bit remiss because I honestly do feel as though this is a very collectible entry into Commander decks, possibly more so than anything we've had before.
It's probably one of the best
standouts of Fan and, you know, some of the Eminence cards. I think this is a great entry into Commander decks for people.
Well, I'll be honest. I'm saving some cashola up for Vegas in just a couple weeks here. So,
yeah, I've completely stopped buying anything, honestly.
Yeah. You know, that's a great point. You know, that's one of the reasons why on my channel, you in the last couple of months saw a big reduction in sealed pack opening. Is I decided, hey, I'm going to go to Maine for a big long weekend. I want to treat a bunch of guys. I want to have a great time. I had to save up some money. And that's one of the things about Magic the Gathering is this is a hobby. There is no chance that anybody who's doing this for a living has a struggle with Magic the Gathering cards. Don't do this for a living. This isn't a job. This is a great pastime of which me, Bob, Matt, and all you down there in the comment section love. But this isn't about making money. It's about the love of the game.
There are a few people at the very tip top of the entertainment side of this and the production side of this and, you know, the buying and selling in stores that do make a living at Magic. But the vast majority, that is not representative of 99.5 or higher percent of people that own Magic cards are never going to make a living.
Out of high school that says, you know, I'm going to drop out of, 10th grade and I'm going to become a rapper. That's what it sounds like when someone says, I'm going to go pro at Magic the Gathering. To me,
or I'm going to flip cards for a living, or I'm even going to buy sealed for a living. It's just, it's too risky. This is not a great career path. And it's great that we have, I'll say it's more than a hobby because it's also a social structure. Look at I consider everybody that I see actually friends of mine, more friends than I do with a lot of people at work.
That's such a good point, Bob. You know, people that are Harry Potter fans, I think this is a good analogy. I've got a great friend. He's actually the host for my pod when we play Commander. He's huge into Harry Potter. You know, he's got a whole bunch of those fake wands and stuff. He's got all the cool doormats and little cuckoo clocks and whatnot. He gets nothing out of it except his pure enjoyment. But when we play Magic the Gathering, the interaction that he gets to have with other hobbyists is totally different. Maybe Matt and I are both really, really into collecting acrylic flowers. But when we get together, there's not much that we get to share about that. But when Bob and I are both into Dungeons and Dragons, we get to share our hobby, but also an extended amount of enjoyment in that hobby. So you get really something extra out of being able to turn these play items sideways.
Absolutely. And speaking of friends, I would like my friends watching us right now here live to participate in. That's right. You guess what time it is?
Dun, dun, dun.
It's time to sleeve, sell, or shred. Let's do it.
You have your 3 cards already. Worm Coil Engine, Worm Coil Engine, and Worm Coil Engine.
Which one of these do you shred? The serialized one? No, let's who wants to start this week? I started last week. I can start if you want me to. I'm ready to rock and roll.
No, let's go ahead and throw it to Matt. I barely ever get to see that beautiful mug of his, and I'd love to see some of his.
That's not ready. I can see it on his face.
Yeah, somebody else go first. I'm definitely ready, but for the rest of the
in that game,
I don't want to take all the spotlight.
Claps in the audience for Matt and preparedness. Right on.
So I mean, I assumed, because we had talked about potentially only doing one a week, so I assumed that, I don't know.
We only have one show a week.
No, I meant one sleeve shell shred, but I'd actually be curious to know if people like having 3 of them, or if they like having just one. But
everything's so green. I'll open a pack of something. I'll open a pack of something if somebody can name what movie that came from in the next 30 seconds.
Which one?
Everything's so green.
Oh. It sounds like a pothead,
I know the answer.
Pothead movie.
You gonna get that poll up there, Pat? You gonna get it up?
Typing it in as we speak.
So you all have to give Pat just a little bit of time, especially when we that's not an option there, Clay. We cannot keep all 3. You got to give Pat a second. He's doing this live, with the sleeve cell shred. He's got to put in.
I mean,
the poll.
I might put in, but I'm not smart. You either get one or the other. Who do you think I am? John Leguizamo?
Yes. Are you not? I like John Leguizamo. Ooh, wow. That's a tough one here. There's only one of these that I've never played with. But I like it. That's a toughie, man. That's a toughie. You've done this now twice with making it hard, so to speak.
Well, that's what I do.
You're making Bob hard.
You just ask Dave. That's what I do, is I make it hard.
He makes
Bob hard. Come on now. We need that poll there, Patrick.
He's got it.
Well, apparently I closed it instead of doing what I just did.
Apparently Pat had a safety meeting before the show.
You can't see it. When I hide the screen, I'm just ripping bongs the whole time.
You just can't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Once you
get
pop,
it,
you can't
dollar bill, y'all.
All right, let's go. Let's get the votes in there. Which one of these are you keeping? Which one are you sleeving up, throwing in your collection, and that's the joker you're going to keep out of these 3 cards? You only get to keep one. You're going to marry that thing. It's going to go in your deck.
Look at that rampant growth for 1 and a green. Search your library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield, tapped, then shuffle. But this very version has, upon impact with a planet surface, a Tyrannomite's bloated belly bursts open, disgorging a horde of tyrannid invaders. I mean, you get so much value with the flavor. Which one of these cards really speaks to you, the viewer? Tell me down below.
We got 8 people here. We need more than 4 votes, folks. Let's go. Let's get that interaction going. Come on. Who doesn't like ramp? If you're playing
We've
green, if you're
got
playing
5
commander,
votes, but 4 are for 3 visits. This math doesn't add up. Help me out, why don't you, down below?
let's get at least 2 more votes going. We got 8 people watching. Let's do this. Let's do this, Brutus. Clay, I would not necessarily say that 3 is an upgrade to rampant growth. It is a different type of rampant growth.
Oh, I agree with Clay. I think there's not even it's no contest. I would always run 3 visits unless for some reason I don't know. Basic lands are just bad.
I don't know. Not if you're playing slivers.
Bad. Nope, it's bad.
The amount of run more basics discussion I've heard recently is surprising. Matt, that's
in my
a very
Atraxa deck, I run 0 basics.
0 basics.
Literally
man,
0
I am all
basics.
about those basic bitches. Pumpkin spice is my flavor.
Now, it's bitten me once because when your creature gets Path of Exiled, you have no targets to go get. But, it's not that often. It's fine.
Yeah, just saying. I'm going to disagree that 3 visits is a strict upgrade to rampant growth. It is, in most cases, an upgrade to rampant growth. But when you start getting multicolored, it's not.
That's how I'm seeing it, is the places that I put rampant growth is more common that I'm adding that card into decks than 3 visits. I think that there's a reason we see reprints of rampant growth is because it is such a good card.
Dude, I've been playing rampant growth since I've been playing Magic, literally. So.
Oh, look at that. He's got a very strong opinion. Pack Opening Addict says, I can get Shocks and Triumph. Done deal. That's a great point.
Yeah, all right, we got 7 votes. We're going to go ahead and call it. The people agree. The audience agrees. 3 visits is the best. I don't agree. I picked Rampant.
Ooh, look at that. 3 visits gets 1 poll. That's all it took, and we instantly have our sleeve. But which one? Which one would you sell to get some money?
Well, that's going to be simple between rampant growth.
I know, between a common and a rare. I mean, but maybe not. Sort of the Animus might only be worth 20
versus like a $5 rare.
Who knows?
I don't even know how much Sword of the Animist is worth.
It's probably only worth 25 cents. Let's be real.
No, definitely not. I know at one point it was like a high dollar card. It's like a $9 card.
All right, I have my 3 cards, so I can go next.
Yeah, I went first last week. I'll go last this week.
Animus.
So what have we got? What are you guys keeping?
It's a $9 card.
Yeah, I don't even have one. I don't think. Well, I mean, not in an unsealed product. I have it in AFR. I have
over here saying that the sword is a 10. And I've got to say, I've got the sword in a number of decks, and I've got rampant growth in a number of decks. This was not easy for me to put up. So I'm glad that I'm getting a bit of direction from these informed viewers down below.
I took inspiration.
Yeah, I'd probably go growth over sword as far as playability.
Oh, sure. I was actually surprised how good Sword of the Animist can be.
Oh, it can be amazing.
My buddy was playing an Ishin deck, the one that like doubles attack triggers. It's pretty good, getting 2 lands every time you attack.
And look at this poll. We have a 7-0 lead for Sword of the Animist. I'm going to go ahead and call it right there. It looks as though we have a clear winner. The shred card of Pat's Night is going to be Rampant Growth. That card right there, I'm going to go ahead and throw it right in the pooper because that's where you think it should go.
Oh, that hurts my soul, folks. It hurts my soul. What
can I say?
Iconic card. And I even play it over Kodama's Reach. I play it over. I tend to play Cultivate a lot just because I like the art so much. The full art from Core 2021.
Oh,
have you seen that one?
Indeed,
I like the one from Strixhaven.
Look up the art, the full art. Cultivate from Core 2021. It's a beautiful card. It's one of my favorite arts in all of Magic.
Cultivate.
Yeah, man.
I believe it's a very large orc-like penis with a big growth. It's actually a rampant growth.
Wow. All right, you are on deck there, Sir Matthew.
Ready. Bam. Enjoy.
Oof.
Holy moly. It's
Enjoy.
Planeswalker.
Oh, we're talking about the same one. Same art. I was thinking Strixhaven, but it's the one you're actually thinking of. I like that one too. Yeah, I took some inspiration from the 2 MCC or 2 meta value from that, and I decided I was like, ooh, let's go with 3 planeswalkers that a ton of people think are degenerate. I mean, obviously they are, but and they all have value, so you can't go with the value. I mean, obviously Lily's a little higher, but they're very close in value. And of course, like I said, it's gonna be a good choice. I know a lot of I'm gonna guess prior to. No, I don't want to influence votes. I'm not gonna guess, but I'm gonna write it down mentally.
Well, you should write it down in our chat, our private chat on StreamYard.
Sure.
Well done.
Wow, I'm hesitant to click. Honestly, I'd like to keep all 3.
Oh, this is not easy. You've made Planeswalkers just so dang difficult. I mean, Oko is so fun that somebody had to get a community together to say I couldn't play it anymore. But I mean,
is Oko not legal in Commander anymore?
Nice. He's fine.
Yeah, I mean, he's illegal in formats I don't care about.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are tough. I mean, I could see myself. Let's put it this way. I definitely can see myself playing all 3 of these, but for me, Liliana of the Veil, it just screams going in my Turgid deck, which Pat knows how much I love playing that thing. Right? That's got a special place in hell in my heart. That's the only. It does. I mean, maybe put it in a new Shieldred deck.
Yeah, because that's fun.
Yeah.
So, come on with this voting. How have we got 3 and 3? Oko and Lily are 50-50. We need some tiebreakers. Somebody, please help us out.
Come on, one of you out there, break the tie for us. The next vote breaks the tie. The next, just whoever you are, you can tell yourself, I win. Because literally, you do. No, the next vote goes for Teferi.
Oh, look at that. Okay. Cool.
All right, there it is. We're keeping Oko.
Yeah.
And indeed, I would play Oko myself. If you guys know me at all, you know I'm a Simic degenerate or Bant. Simic and
I've
Bant
come around
are my
a teamer.
favorite.
Apparently now I'm a teamer player. I was a Jund player, but now teamer's gotten so strong. I think my favorite colors are now teamer. I think I'm just gonna admit it to myself.
Which one's red, white, black?
Mardu?
Yeah.
Right.
I end up leaning on Mardu a lot. All right, Ed, thanks for joining us. Have a great stream. If I can, I'll try to catch you at some point, but I think we might be going for a little bit yet here.
Red, white, black, yep.
All right, let's call it. Mr. Oko, he is the winner.
And we've already got round 2 for Matt going up. Fairy, who extends the time, versus Lily of the Veil.
I think this is going to be an easy slam dunk.
Well, that's what I thought.
Let's get our votes in there. Who do you want to keep? Do you want to keep? I'm sorry. Who do you want to sell? Who do you hate more? Who do you want to see end up in the shredder? That's a better way to look at this.
Yeah, which one of these bad bitches do you want to destroy? Teferi with his big dumb robe, or Liliana with her small dumb robe?
They both cause a significant amount of angst when you play against them, for sure. Actually, all 3 of these do. All 3 of these are very salty cards.
Yep.
I'd have to say probably the one that sees the most play is Teferi, overall.
Oh, I've got looking at that poll, 100%. We have 5-0 right now for Lily.
Yeah, I think if you
I don't think people want to get rid of Lily is the problem.
So it looks as though Teferi,
And of course, she
who
has more value.
extends time, Teferi the Time Raveler, has run out of time.
Yeah, though they're getting close in price. I mean, Teferi's not all that cheap, and
Yeah, Teferi's
Lily's
like
getting
$18 to
cheaper,
$20. Liliana
like
is
35.
around 30. 32 is the lowest I see from Dominar United. Surprisingly, the showcase version is cheaper than the standard version.
Not surprising. It looks like old crusty Lily. I
When
like
people
this
say
version.
that, I think she looks fine.
I think she looks hotter in this version, younger, fresher. I'm not
Sure,
bad.
but
I'm just
she's an
drawing
old
it.
woman by now. She can show some age. Old women have beauty
Whatever.
too.
Yeah. No comment. All right. So let's do this. I'm gonna try to expedite my cards for sleeve cell shred. So it's not a visual trick here.
It's going to be Bob who unravels time.
Just going to be the worm coil engines. He's just going to leave that picture.
It's close. It's very close, and all three of them are definitely from the theme tonight. Guessed it. It is from the Brothers War Leaks, folks.
You know, it's funny. I started using Howling Mind very recently with a few different decks, and in the best one was Gallows-Eth because you can tap it for mana, and then it doesn't give the benefit to anybody else but you. It's pretty great when you do that.
It's pretty good with Hull Breacher in play.
I mean, Skull
Not Hull Breacher. I'm sorry, with Shieldred in play.
Narset? No, Narset as well. Prevents it.
Yeah, we're already gone. But hey, thanks Ed for stopping by. It's wonderful. Great creator. I've been watching him for ages now. Phenomenal stuff. Go tune into him, but also tune into Bob with his incredible card choice here.
My prediction was Oko to shred, sleeve Liliana, and sell Teferi, so I was wrong on all three of them.
You didn't get a single one of those right.
Well, to be fair, the Liliana and the Oko were very close until the last minute. So I was almost 66% correct.
Wow, I am absolutely shocked with our current poll result.
I'm not.
Worm Coil Engine being just a beast of a card.
But it's really not. It's really not, though. It used to be. I'm going to throw this out there. People love Worm Coil and they think it's good. Nowadays, it's not that good. It's just okay. You can center around it and build around it like an artifact. Like I have an Osgir deck that abuses it, and then it becomes pretty good when you make like 4 copies. But just a 6/6 Death Toucher is kind of boring nowadays. Yeah, it's got lifelink, but like when you have cards that are like Urza, Lord Artificer, he makes all of your artifacts tap for blue. You've got all these like crazy effects. The power creep has made Wormcoil Engine, in my opinion, kind of like a B tier card. I don't know. Maybe A. Definitely not S. It's not as good as it used to be. It used to be like the go-to powerhouse, but now it's just kind of not played.
And I would say the removal, as of late, they're doing a whole lot more exile.
There's a ton of exile. Yeah.
And as we're seeing the results right here, I think it really comes back to something I've seen before. Skull Clamp being one of the most broken cards in Magic the Gathering. As we've got 7 votes and 43% are going to Skull Clamp. I think it's pretty easy to see that's the mover on for this vote.
I play Skull Clamp in my Shurikai deck, and the amount of value you gain is just... You just clamp all the pilots you make, and you draw 2 from Shurikai, you draw 2 from the clamp. You're drawing 4 to 8 cards a turn. It's pretty stupid.
So what have we got here for Howling Mine and Wormcoil? Which one of these jokers are you selling, and which one are you shredding? Do you hate either one of these cards, or do you feel that one is going to get you more money than the other?
Yeah, I'm not going based off value with my vote. I'm going to go based off playability.
Honestly, I think they're but we're selling. We're selling these. Selling or shredding.
Right. So the shred to me is a card that I don't care about if it goes away. So my vote, I'm going to wait, but I have a specific vote. The reason I'm voting this way because of playability.
Oh man. If I had to keep one of these, so for me, I've already got it locked in. Soon as I saw the votes, I knew right in which order I thought these were best, middle ground, and oh, this is something they give away for free.
I don't know. It's flip flopping.
Let's give a couple more. Let's give another 30 seconds or so here for people to vote. We have 5 total votes, folks. 5 votes. Come on, you got to have an opinion on Howling Mine and Worm Coil Engine. Which one do you sell, and which one hits the chipper shredder? Which one of these do you not want to see hit play again?
You've seen them both. Let us know what you think you want to keep around and which you want to destroy.
Well, we don't keep it around. We're selling it. Which one you want to make some cashola, and which
Keep
one
around
do you
to
want
sell
to just
for
not
cash.
exist? Which one
No,
should?
and
This
remember,
doesn't
the one that's
exist.
getting shredded is being removed from history, like it never existed.
Destroy,
That's for
erase,
anybody.
terminate, vindicate,
You can no longer play this card anymore. It's very
All right.
sad.
We got 7 votes in, and they're saying we're selling the Howling Shrine. The Howling Shrine. That would be cool.
the Howling
The
Engine.
Howling Shrine. That'd be great. A Howling Mine and shredding the Worm Coil Engine. That thing is getting destroyed. Gonna make a bunch of copies of itself.
See, my vote is to sell the Worm Coil Engine because Howling Mind it's got less playability than Worm Coil. Worm Coil can literally go in every deck, and you're not going to really feel too bad about drawing it. But I don't know if you really want to play Howling Mind in every deck because you don't want your opponents drawing a bunch of cards.
Now, see, I went a different way. I went with Howling Mine it's more key to more decks.
Yeah, Worm Coil Engine. That's another thing. Worm Coil Engine just doesn't improve. It doesn't change how your deck functions. It just is okay in your deck. It's fine. It's good to draw your.
But Howling Mine, certainly. And we'll see if we get in the same pod in Vegas at MTG 30 for Commander Boss Fight. We'll see how much you like those Howling Mine effects.
Well, yeah, Howling Mine. If you're building around a very specific archetype, then yeah, it's going to be great. I've played it in 2 decks in the last.
Yeah, but if I put Worm Coil Engine in my MTG 30 deck, you'd be like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Fine. That's what I'm saying. That's why.
But if you saw Howling Mine come out from my deck, you'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, but nobody's going to be playing this format unless it takes.
Are you kidding? I had an hour-long conversation with Eric, and he says it's the #1 requested game in his store.
People don't even know what it is.
Yeah, they do. This is not the first go round.
Well, I know, but it's failed.
They've had Commander Boss Fight now at the Command Fests, and guess what? Other people go to Command Fests, and it's growing. It's growing as a format. So,
I mean, I'm happy if it grows.
He did clarify, just since you weren't here last week. He clarified that yes, the other players are not considered opponents.
Yeah, we assumed that,
and that the boss monster is considered a player, but has no deck or hand.
We definitely don't want to care about discards or anything like that.
Target player loses life. That's still helpful.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how much life it has, all that kind of stuff.
Well, how do you treat the rack and cursed rack and all those things that care about cards in hand?
I just don't think you play them. Because I'm pretty sure they just draw a card from the top of their play deck, and then they just
go wide. Bob, must summon the entire Elven army. Go wide, baby.
Yeah, I don't know how it works.
Sword.
So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be fantastic, and we'll make some version that we can play with fans here on a spell table, and cool. it'll be great.
And just as a little bit of after the fact info, Bob, I selected every card in the right order for your sleeve cell shred this evening.
Nice.
I was pleased with it.
Yeah, I actually predicted the same thing. I didn't say it, but I also made that happen because I picked Skull Clamp and I was voting. I picked Skull Clamp and I picked Howling Mine. I don't really care about Worm Coil, but there's a lot of people that like it. I'm glad that Matt made arguments for and against it, and it was Hopefully it was interesting for the audience. That's the whole point of it. Let's have fun here, folks. That's the point of Sleeve Sales.
I think we have done just
engaged.
that, We've been getting more and more peak concurrent viewers. We've been getting more and more watch time. And that's all thanks to you guys out there watching us and commenting on the videos. So
thanks to viewers like you.
And, just for that, to people who have been watching the show, I don't do raffles. I don't do giveaways. I do, and I hate to use this word, a bit of a blessing. So I've actually got a power cube that was gifted to me for me to open, and I wanted to keep that going on to one of my members here down in the community. So I've got a video coming up where I selected one of my long-term watchers, and I'm opening up some product for them. Because that's how we do it here. It's not about random giveaways. This isn't a fucking lottery. This is about dedication and love, support for the channel. So this one goes out to you.
Yeah, please be here if you like it, and share the word. Tell other people if you like it and you think they might enjoy our content and being here on Saturday nights with us talking shit about Magic. Bring them in. We'd love to have more people here that are genuinely interested in, even if they want to learn about it. First time viewers, got a girlfriend, boyfriend, somewhere in between. Bring them in. We're a very welcoming kind of bunch here. There's no discrimination.
Except to Mike.
Don't be a dick.
Except Mike. Fuck Mike.
Apparently, Pat says, fuck Mike. At any rate, yeah, we love to see the community here on Saturdays. We love spending our time with you guys. It is very close-knit, and I do feel a sense of camaraderie. I don't think we're ever going to have the problem that Jake and Joel do with their 40,000 plus subscribers or whatever, where we're going to be distant from you guys and gals and however you want to be addressed. We want to have this. We want to keep actually the sort of close-knit personal relationship that we have with our audience. We enjoy it, all of us. We talk about you guys. We talk shit about you guys too. I'm just kidding. And we enjoy trying to bring something we think you might enjoy.
Absolutely.
So big Magic news this week. We know we talked about the Transformers that are going to be in the product tonight. I'm loath to even talk about it because I did not do enough homework to know exactly what products the Transformer cards can appear in. But I had a conversation with my fiance about it because she's actually not a Magic fan, but she is a Transformers fan, big Transformers fan, even from back in the OG original days. I'm trying to find images that they have. Here we go. This is exactly the image I'm looking for. See if I can.
You said Transformer card? I thought you were talking about the flip cards.
No.
Earlier today, you're like,
no. Here, I'm actually going to share here real quick.
Nothing new.
Because I do have some questions I'd like to ask you guys and the audience about these, because I don't know if you want to consider it an interesting opinion about them, but oh boy, I don't like how small it is. That's what she said. How come I can't? No, I don't want to do that.
Just right click, open image on new tab.
Right, well, I can do it this way. Here we go.
Just right click, open image.
That's what I want. You guys can see that, right? I hope. All right. So here's the point I wanted to make on these. I think that the full art ones are visually more appealing, but honestly, if I was going to pick up these cards, what I'm targeting as singles, I think I would prefer, just for a nostalgia's sake, to get the ones that are more reminiscent of the OG cartoon than the more blingy custom art that I don't know what that's from. Maybe that's from one of the cartoons or cartoon movies. But when I think about Transformers, I think more of the art that we see on the left there. Yeah, so Brian mentioned, can you bring up that comment?
So from what I understand, the cards that you see with the purpling background with the shattered text box actually come from the Transformers Shattered Universe, where all of the good guys turn bad. So you can see Optimus Prime in this golden form, where he is truly the hero of our universe. Or on the right-hand side, You can see the shattered background that he represents with the bullet-ridden windshield. I tried.
Yeah, it's something that's kind of wow. I sounded like a transformer. Something that's a little bit foreign to me, where it's not foreign to me with the original OG art. I would rather have seen these swapped, the artwork, to be quite honest.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't
It's
love the
hard.
artwork.
When I look at this from, I was born in 87, and I look at the cards here on the left-hand side, and this reminds me of being young. And having that crossover with those type of cards and Magic the Gathering has such a sense of nostalgia, where the cards on the right-hand side look pretty friggin' cool.
They do look pretty freaking cool, but I think the nostalgia appeals more to me than something that's visually appealing. And yeah, Brian, I had heard that they're going to be in the collectors, but if they're going to be in set, of course they're going to be in bundles, because bundles only have set packs in them now. It's not like they're going to be independent in the bundles. However, I don't know what the frequency is going to be. Do they replace one of the slots? Where are they going to be? That kind of stuff. Because when I looked, we brought up Brothers War when we first saw it spoiled some time ago on Amazon. Do you remember that, Pat? And they had some scant info about it, but it didn't mention anything about Transformers cards, clearly. And I'm not a huge Transformers fan. I like Transformers well enough, and I liked some of the movies. But from nostalgia's sake, just looking at these cards when they first popped up, the ones on the left, the original art appealed to me most. And I guess nostalgia won out over visual appeal.
What about you, Matt? Do you have any weigh in on this here?
I like Transformers, but not enough to like. I was never like, honestly, when I was a kid, Power Rangers was my thing, not Transformers. I've seen all the movies, so that's something. As far as the art's concerned, the art looks okay. The one on the left, I don't care for much at all. It looks kind of too far removed from Magic, which is a little strange thing to say, but I don't know. It just looks strange. It kind of looks more Pokemon or Digimon. It kind of looks like a Digimon card to me. It looks strange. I don't know. It's just not the art style I care for. Like, I've never been a comic book fan or anything like that. But the one on the right looks like the best of the artwork. It looks okay. I probably won't buy them or play them or care for them. I have a buddy that loves Transformers, but he'll love this.
Well, you heard it right.
I was just
Matt
messaging
has
him
a
about
buddy that loves Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just as a side note, Miss Sherry Vegas loves Transformers, so at a minimum, I'm going to be targeting singles for all these.
Okay.
Again, it's not a great way to try to get any specific cards that you want by cracking packs. That's a terrible way to get the cards that you're
definitely
after.
Crack packs for specific cards. I even highly recommend doing that on boxes or sets that don't include the card, because it's like in a very specific, like a commander deck. Like, it just doesn't come in the box, but you crack the box hoping to get those cards. That's a really smart thing to do. I've done that before.
And if you enjoy cracking product that doesn't contain the card you're looking for, if you like that style of video, well, then MTG Gaming Bob is your channel, because we actually have a video for that.
Yep, I might do that again. I might crack another box here soon. I don't know. I kind of got that itch.
Yeah, Matt was just talking to me. He has a Midnight Hunt Commander deck, and he's really looking for a Jeweled Lotus. So tune in. There's great upcoming content on their channel.
Funny enough, I did pull a Jeweled Lotus from the Commander Legends box that I opened. I was pretty happy with that.
It's crazy. Cool. Such a good card. It still runs about $100 price tag. So Commander Legends still seems to be a phenomenal buy.
Oh, you're right. I should probably sell that now. If they reprint that in Brothers War.
What's that?
Oh goodness. Wouldn't that
Lotus? That's a good place to put it. It needs a reprint, and that's a solid place.
Or
it will not be in Brothers War.
It could well be in
It could very much be in Brothers War.
It's not going to be in Dominaria Remastered, because Commander Legends was not a Dominaria set.
Well, it wasn't not a Dominaria set.
No, it says it's not a Dominaria set. And they said that it's going to be a curated list from the Dominaria sets. They mentioned that. And I can't remember. I thought they said like 30, and I'm like, that doesn't seem right. There's
I've
30
got it.
sets in Dominaria.
Pat's tinfoil hat financial theory. Pat, right here, call it right now. Pat the Pauper, the poor prick I am. I don't think Jewel Lotus will ever break 111.11. I think that's our maximum. We'll never see Jewel Lotus over 111.
I don't want any piece of that because I have no idea what to say to that. I'll say this, that I don't see a product on the horizon for the Jeweled Lotus. Now, they might put it in a secret lair. It might be in another Masters set whenever that comes out in 2 years. I don't
There's
see it
no
going
way. No shot they take 2 years to reprint Jeweled Lotus. Impossible.
Well, that was my same thought on Icoria's Triomes, is how long will it take for them to reproduce this incredible mana producer? And we have yet to see a reproduction of them. There was a remasking, as it were, with the new Capenna Trilands, but those
that was completing the cycle.
Were just not quite the same.
That was definitely completing the cycle.
Yeah, which is good.
But I mean, Jeweled Lotus, I don't know where it's going to be. Like, I don't know where you would put that. It's a very awkward card. Same thing with, I mean, we saw Jesse's Will go into a pre-con.
The list.
That would make a great list card. Yeah, that could be. It'd be a perfect spot for it. But here's the thing about the list, is it doesn't really affect the prices of the cards.
Right, but it still gives more copies out there, and it helps more people get it.
I have
not very many. It's not a meaningful reprint.
When a set comes out, we have all this preview time, 5-6 weeks before release, and we're getting all of this exposure to the set, but we barely ever get a real heads up on what's going to be on the list. That stuff really seems to come out after the fact. I know for me, I've never seen the list for set cards coming up in an upcoming set. It only ever seems to be really after the fact. So a really good set for set boosters in a set. Jesus, that's dumb to say. Really so it after the fact is a good buy. I mean,
I want you to make a short of that, the really good place for the set boosters of a set in a set of set boosters. I want that as a short this week on your channel.
I've got one more. Okay. So let me get big. Oh, baby, let me get big. The faith he had made no difference in that moment. Yeah, so I had a Vietnamese wife, and teaching her some English was dumb as shit. I didn't realize the language I grew up with was really weird. You heard it first here. Policing police is a stupid sentence.
Ooh, did you guys hear about the Magic 30th announcement of the announcement?
An announcement of announcement? Please, Matt, tell me some more.
They said on the October 4th, there's going to be they announced that the announcement for October 4th, there's going to be some kind of big thing for the Magic 30th. Yeah, they're going to announce the announcement of the announcement for Magic 30th on the 4th.
Next week, I'll be telling you more about the thing I'll tell you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I like that. And if it's going to be anything like Magic 30th has already been, they're going to say that they're going to tell you on the 4th. But then the 4th is going to come and they're just going to be crickets. And then people are going to be like, what the hell? And then like 3 weeks later after the event, they'll announce it.
There you go. That would not surprise me. So it's been a big Magic week. And I'm sure some of the stuff has fallen out of my head. Is there anything specifically that you guys wanted to discuss this week? Some of it's fallen out of my head. One of the big things that's been striking me lately is a lot of panic out there because of financial values dropping. Don't. That's the shortest version of my advice ever. Don't panic. Right? I mean, if you want to bring Alex in here, I talked to him just briefly yesterday. I wanted to talk to him more. I stopped in the last 30 seconds of his stream. He had some good juice going for this week in Magic and talking about serialized cards and just upcoming jazz. But I want to touch just a little bit more on what I'm saying. I wasn't a big hold the line person during the whole, balloon ride up, and now some of the harsh crash down, and small moves is one of my favorite lines from Contact with Jodie Foster when she's a little girl and she's working on a ham radio, and her father walks in and gives her sagely advice because she's having a hard time tuning into hearing something on a ham radio, which if you guys don't know what that is, go look it up. But what he's telling her, small moves on the dial gets her bigger returns, meaning she'll get more of what she wants by making small moves. And I would say that right now, in times of disruption, in times of uncertainty, don't make big moves. Don't be the hero. Don't go all in and buy everything. Don't sell everything. Right now, small moves that you're comfortable with, and that means small moves buying, small moves selling.
Small moves.
Temper your reactions to volatile market swings. And remember this, that you don't ever lose any money until you sell. So small moves. That doesn't mean stop investing, because you'll look back at these times. If the market swings upward, which very likely can, man, this is the time you're going to be looking at, man, I remember those boxes were $71 a piece. Oh, now they're $200. I could have bought 3 boxes and they would have tripled their money. And but that doesn't mean, cash in your rainy day money. Be solid. I'm going to preach this every single time when I talk about buying anything. Make sure you have 3 to 6 months of cash assets. That doesn't mean CDs. That doesn't mean 3 months in your 401k. That doesn't mean 3 months locked up in some other thing. 3 months in liquid cash of your expenses. And be honest with yourself. What do you have to have? That means your rent or mortgage, your car payments, your insurance, your health care, your 401k investments, well, you won't be doing 401k if you really need rainy day money.
Your fucking medicine.
Your medical expenses, your food, your entertainment.
Yeah, exactly.
Make sure you have 3 months of liquid cash that you would normally spend in a given month available. And that is not money you spend on Magic. That's not money you go to MTG 30 with. That's not money you go to Camp Omagumagawa. You don't buy Brothers War with it. You don't, get hookers and blow with it. It's your emergency reserves in case shit happens.
No, speaking of hookers and blow,
there she is.
Alex, how you
I bought
doing?
this house
Oh
I bought this house with hookers and blow, so hopefully you guys are enjoying the view.
So we're gonna have to call
things are good.
Daddy Action Wings now.
Yeah. Oh man.
What a week, huh?
Daddy Ash Wings in the house. Yeah. Good evening to you, Ash and Wings, TCG/Alex. Hey, if you guys haven't tuned in, you should check out some of his content. He's got great stuff, and he's doing wonderful with his production on it. So big ups with your diligence there, sir.
Thanks. I have nothing better to do with my time than talk about cardboard, so.
I'm sorry, Matt. What were you saying?
Saying, Pat, blow my screen up real quick. I just saw this.
They announced it today.
I normally
Little
don't
Walkers
like
Part 2.
I normally don't like chibi things, but I actually dig these cards. I don't mind them at all.
Well, so it's funny. That's one of the reasons why I'm still single. I'm not into those big heads with little bodies. So take that, Catherine.
Yeah, as I said, I normally don't like chibi, but like for some reason these kind of look cool. I kind of dig it.
I'm fine with them, but
you get the first Little Walker secret layer.
What's that?
Did you?
Uh-oh.
He's just embracing the transformerness of Brothers War.
Action Wings just turned into a transformer. You're coming in a little choppy there, Alex.
A little?
Yeah, the green screen sometimes takes a lot of functionality out of the internet bandwidth. So that's one thing I worked on. I use mine through OBS, and it seems to treat me a little bit better as far as the smoothness goes.
I'm
But
using the NVIDIA broadcast green screen. There's no green screen behind me. This is, I mean, it's not perfect. Obviously, it's like it does like weird things with the, the blurriness. But to have like an artificial green screen with like there's nothing behind me, like that's insane to me. Like it's so cool.
I'll say this about this when I first saw it. I'm trying to decide, what am I not buying? We've talked about this before, where Magic the Gathering has forced us as a buyer's market to select the products that we're not going to buy. We have to be more selective about what we want. And this is going to be an easy pass for me. They're just, different artwork on cards that already exist, not particularly rare. And it's an easy pass for me to save my money for other things I want more.
No, I totally understand that. And that's one of my big issues with most secret layers is I find them quite passable, and not in a good way, as in I can pass by them and never feel bad. As Alex was mentioning when he had internet connection, is that he was saying that this was the second Chobits type version coming in. And that's absolutely true. There are plenty of versions we've already seen of these big head, little body cards on Magic, and this doesn't feel like it's a new thing to
me. That's a good one, Coach. And no, Clay, I did not go to camp. Oh my God. What like we have other content creators out there now saying, what I'm buying. And I guess I should start the what I'm not buying. And the chibi, not that I hate it. I don't have anything wrong with it. I wouldn't mind having the cards. I'm just not spending the money on it. And certainly not on the pre-order.
It's $30, which it's not a terrible price. I don't know exactly what all those planeswalkers are individually, but like I said, I don't hate it. I ain't gonna buy it probably because, again, Vegas is coming up, and I've just kind of not bought anything.
Yeah, I mean, they're forcing me to skip products, right? And I'm going to tell you right now, I still hold to this, and I'm telling you, I think Dominaria Remastered is going to be a banger. Have money set aside for that. Start saving, $20 a week now for that, folks. It's going to be an expensive set. It's going to be fall.
You heard it from Pat the Pauper first. Put your pre-orders in. Go ahead, put that shit on Amazon right fucking now. And in 5 months, when they actually put it out, you'll be $20, $30, $40, $50 ahead. Buy your pre-orders now, you dumb, silly bitches.
Yeah, not a bad advice.
This is Amazon advice.
Financial advice from Pat the Pauper. I'm saying, be reserved, small moves, but that means start saving the money for it. Listen very clearly to what I'm saying. I'm not saying buy Dominaria Remastered. I'm saying start saving your money for Dominaria Remastered. There's a big difference there. It's something that I'm keeping my eye on. I told you, I'm trying to somehow squeeze in Vegas, Christmas, my daughter's birthday, Brothers War, another case of Unfinity, Magic 30th with all the shit that goes along with that, and Dominaria Remastered. Like, that's all in the next 4 months here. I don't make that good of money to.
Honestly, Coach,
wow.
If Bob doesn't make the series, Pat will. Shit, I'm not buying. And I just crap all over the newest set of Magic the Gathering. Honestly, I am so filled with rage and hate that I could take anything coming out with Magic the Gathering, a hobby I clearly love. I make fucking videos on it. I would take any product Wizards puts out and shit all over it. If Bob doesn't do it, I'm gonna. Pat hates Magic the Gathering coming out every 45 days.
I hate it so much I make videos every week about it. Spend hours every week talking about it.
Yeah. I'm my own best hater. And it seems as though Alex was not feeling it tonight.
You could have a whole new segment, the Angry MTG Nerd.
Yeah, right.
Breaking news. They revamped the prize pool for the first place cosplay. Instead of being a $200 Joanne Fabrics gift card, first place now gets $3,000 cash.
What? That's a pretty significant switch. Oh, wow, we need sound effects. That's fucking hilarious.
What a change. Player outrage creates insane MTG anniversary event. Play MTG. We have updates about the cosplay contest at Magic 30, including information on new prizes. So the runner-up gets $17.50, but they're also still getting the Joanne Fabrics gift card as well.
Oh,
That's
good.
funny.
It's probably because their CEO was drunk one night and his wife bought a whole bunch of Joanne Fabric gift cards. And, pause. I absolutely love you. I love what you do over on your channel. But me, I will shit on Wizards of the Coast every fucking chance I have.
This is the update that I'm sharing right now.
You know what? Pause. I think if you look at it collectively, we're very positive about Magic. I'm more positive about the community, right? I love community. I love team sports. I love team efforts. I love my circles. I love my cliques, and I invite most people into my cliques unless you're a dick, and then you can get the fuck out.
It's funny you mentioned that. As much as I talked about my rage for Wizards of the Coast, I went down to my LGS. I traded in cards today so I could buy a player's handbook for D&D, another Wizards of the Coast product. And it's not because I hate the company. I hate what they're doing with the company.
D&D
it's pure
it's
and it's true. This paladin will come together. Okay, so Matt's got a nice link down here. Let's do that instead.
So listen to this. It's not just $3,000 cash. It's not just the gift card. They also get 2 3-day VIP badges to the final festival event in 2023 and a hotel.
Wow.
They did like a complete change.
That's amazing. That is so. We need to make a video about that shit. Okay. They got a shitty.
Also, the judges are getting a $1,000 cash prize plus the Joanne Fabric gift card plus the badge as well. 3 judges award. Judges. What the fuck did the judges?
They must have got so much bad press on that because they got shit on all over the place for that announcement of the $200 gift card. Like,
oh yeah,
what?
This is a big update. This is completely.
Coach, the actual PSA is that Cardboard Conversations is sponsored by Coach's Magic.
True. He sponsors every episode.
Without
him, we couldn't make this happen.
Nope. And pause too. Pause. I will positively let Pat shit all over Magic whenever he wants because that's his thing. That's amazing. We gotta do a video about that turnaround. Like that's so fucking hilarious to me. It's not even funny. Hey, here's a $200 gift. It's like what was that? You guys are probably too young to remember, but Will Ferrell did a comedy routine on Saturday Night Live about Harry Carey. He was a famous announcer for baseball for the Cubs. Had a very distinctive voice. You should watch some videos on it. Well, hey, everybody. For cosplay, we're gonna get a $200 gift card, Joanne Fabrics. It's like, wait, that's terrible. Okay, we're gonna give them $3,000, a $200 Joanne gift card. They're gonna get invited to the fall, and we're gonna pay for the hotel room. And Cubs win. Cubs win. Like,
Cubs win.
That's gonna be the whole thing.
And the Cubs win.
All right, I want you to do your next D&D character with that voice.
Yeah, no. What, Harry Carey?
Okay,
watch that video.
We're 98 minutes in. Do you guys play D&D?
Oh yeah,
I
play
want
every
to.
week.
So I've never played
every
as
Sunday.
a character before. I ran 3 sessions only ever as a DM. What do you suggest is a good starting character?
Real quick, if you don't mind a plug, over at
I told Dave, baby, I never mind a plug.
Oh, we actually play weekly every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fables on Tables on YouTube. We stream our games actually.
Wait, you're telling me you have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, it's small. We don't really try to grow the channel, and apparently we do a shit job at trying because we have like 30 subscribers and we've streamed for like 2 years. But it's more we stream for us because we like to have the videos of the games and we like to be able to go and
It was. I would like to have had Alex on here a little longer. I like talking to him, and I'm going to plug him right here live on channel. I honestly think he's one of the up and comers for it's hard to get views and make the right moves, and I think that he's doing a fantastic job, and he's reaping the rewards of that. He's doing the right things with his channel to grow it. I think he's got a genuine interest in it. He makes consistent content about it. He does thoughtful discourse with his videos, even if I don't agree with him all the time. I like watching him. Sorry, pause. I'll have to go back and watch that stream. I'll be honest. Do you guys want full disclosure on where Bob's been lately? They released Wrath of the Lich King Classic on World of Warcraft, and I've been spending no life playing that.
Don't worry, Bob. I recently restarted Fallout 76 and got my father into it, who has spent over 1,000 hours in Fallout 4. So it's been great just chatting with him, talking about all sorts of dumb stuff. There are loads of things to enjoy in life. And maybe not always Magic the Gathering is just the thing for you. So maybe I don't see you guys for a week or two, but I hope you're doing well. Go out there and enjoy that fucking life of yours.
I started a Terraria playthrough last night with my buddy.
Oh, boy, it's such a great game.
Yeah, we beat it. We beat Moonlord on the original. Now we're playing the Calamity mod, which I've heard is like 10 times harder. Then there's like 15, 20 more bosses, and so far it's pretty fun. Oh, and as far as D&D is concerned, you were saying what kind of, as a player never playing before under a DM, you said you're like which class are you asking would be like more fun to start into?
Beginning class is a D&D first timer.
Are you talking about complexity of somebody that's never played before, or an experienced
well, just DM? In general, I've been leaning towards paladin or cleric.
I was going to suggest either paladin, cleric, or it's really fun, and it's a strong class, a battle master fighter. You have the maneuvers. You have the maneuvers that allow you to do a lot of different cool effects. They add extra damage. They add more flexibility of what you can do. And with being a fighter, you gain more, feats and or ability attributes. You gain extra attacks. So with the maneuvers and stuff, you can do some really cool things like goading attacks and switching positions with people on the battlefield and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. But yeah, paladins are
kind of the OP class in D&D.
They're nerfing paladins. They're nerfing a lot of classes in one D&D. Actually, they're making it so that crits only double the damage of the weapon's die, nothing else. So you won't get any of your smite double. Your smite critting. There's no crit fishing anymore. Basically, sneak attack doesn't get doubled anymore in crits. I mean, this is all in playtest material, but I've been looking into D&D 1, which is supposed to be they're trying to make the next D&D edition be the only next edition. I don't know how true that's going to be, but that's their thing they're trying to sell. They're trying to say that the next edition will be uniformly the last edition that they make, and it's just going to be something that like is just all encompassing. It's supposed to be the last one, the one deal.
There's no way to do that though without making it a mutable format. It has to be mutable. It has to be alchemy.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I just know that they're doing a lot of things. They're making it so dungeon masters can no longer crit ever, which I thought is very strange. But I guess it allows them to maybe make the monsters more powerful and then allow it for it not to be so spiky, because like when a boss crits, when he does like 8d6 damage and like hits like the entire party, if they crit, they can't really do that. But basically crits from bosses and make the combat feel very fluxy. And I think they're trying to smoothen out that. We'll see how that changes. But they're giving dungeon or dragons their Dragonborns their dark side back, which I'm very excited for. They took it away from 3rd edition, and then 4th edition they didn't have it. Or no, they took it away for 5th edition. Sorry, every edition had it until 5th edition. But yeah, as I would say, Paladin. Getting back to the original question before, I could talk about D&D all day long. I need to make a podcast for that. I used to have one. We called it Just the Tip. It was such a good.
I'd really like to try doing an AD&D session again. I enjoyed that a lot. You felt more vulnerable. It was
boring.
I liked it.
I played it recently. I can't stand it. I tried 3rd edition recently. Can't stand it. It's just when you play 5th edition and you have all of these You have so many options, and then you go and play first and second edition, and you're just like, I can move or attack on my turn. That's it. That's all you got. You got nothing else. As a fighter, you can move or attack past the turn. Wow, that was fun.
I have heard that 5th edition is the easiest and most player-friendly version to get into.
It is.
Yeah.
But I always like playing the Ranger in AD&D, which is basically, you can really consider it 1st edition.
Yeah.
And now that everybody does everything, it almost doesn't matter. You're going to have fun playing whatever class you pick, to be quite honest. Everybody has a place. Let's just put it that way.
Which is great.
So, what's that?
I think it's great. I love being able to pick up any class and just be like, boom, sick.
But you don't. There's less consequence to your actions. You don't think about as much. You don't have to have as much talk between what you do and collaboration. It's more just like, if you have 5 people there, there's 5 people acting independently, sort of.
Oh, I disagree with that. I mean, it can be that way. I mean, I don't completely disagree, but like recently we started a new campaign and we're doing this under a new dungeon master, and we were playing in 4th edition, and they had this class called the not the battle master. It's a class that was designed to like the warlord. That's what it's called. So the warlord in 4th edition was basically designed to like use a lot of his abilities to allow your party members to attack on your turn. So you're like issuing commands. You're the warlord. You're like issuing commands to you're like, you attack that person, and then they get to use their reaction to attack. So there was a lot of cool like synergies with that. And then we switched to 5th edition because 4th edition is pretty bad. There's a lot of stuff that's good from it, but like the core mechanics of 5th just outshine 4th so bad that we decided to convert that campaign to 5th edition. And there was no warlord in 5th edition. It's just nothing. But there is it's called the Inquisitive Paladin cleric. There's a cleric, what is it called, subclass that kind of does what I want. So as a bonus action, or any spell that I cast on an opponent or on a player, I can let them use their bonus action or the reaction to attack. Jesus, all the different actions. But either way, I can do sort of what I wanted to do from 4th edition, but it allows you to, do what you're saying is like work as a team. Like positioning matters a lot. If I'm using this ability, I need my party members to be in a good position to utilize this kind of way of building my character.
I like how Coach is subtly trying to change the topic.
This is a magic channel, you goddamn nerds. Stop talking about.
We talk about a bunch of stuff, but the Galaxy Foil. I mean, because this is coming up next week.
Yeah.
I wouldn't look. I honestly wouldn't look. So let's give some financial talk about Unfinity. I think that the Galaxy Foils are going to be very common. I don't think that they're going to hold a premium. I was surprised at how sparse the Spock lands are from all the openings I've seen so far.
Yes,
you don't seem to be. I mean, for a rare card, they seem to be about as common as mythics for any individual land. So, oof. Box toppers, probably at the start, they're going to be, like $30-$40, and then probably, I don't know. I don't know where they're going to go from there, but I would say $30 to $40 is what I would expect because the toppers are all Spock lands. And I think you're going to see them probably initially come out at like that $50-$60 mark, but I'd say 30 to 40 is probably where they should be. Don't expect to get a lot of Spocks in Unfinity, and that's where all of the financial value is really going to be. So any specific sparkly Galaxy Foil, not going to hold a lot of value except for the Spock lands that we've already seen here. Matt didn't care much for him. Pat doesn't care much for him. Other people don't care much for him.
Nope.
So don't expect that to be the end-all, be-all. I think what's going to be a bigger financial factor is how frequently we see Spock lands, period.
What do you mean by Spock lands?
Space Shocks.
Oh, I like them. What are you talking about? I think they're great. I think they're the best thing from Infinity.
I think they're great. What I'm saying is they're not that common in the sets. For a rare card, they're printed at rare, but they seem to be pretty damn rare.
How do
I
we
watched
know
the
that
whole
they're
collector
rare?
box, and he pulled one in the whole box, and then he got the box topper. I was like, Jesus, that's.
I heard the box toppers from Dominaria United were kind of a letdown. I hope
They're
that's
a
not
big
that
letdown.
way. I hope they're not that way here.
It feels more.
All the box toppers are Spocklands.
Oh. I've got to say, it feels more like a Galaxy foul. If that's how you guys feel, let me know down there in the comment section. Hit it up in that poll, why don't you?
I'm fine
Why
with the
can't
Galaxy
they get rarity printings correct? I don't understand. They
I don't
flip flop. They're like, it's too common, not enough. Too common, not enough. It's never perfect. It's never good. It's just like, what the hell?
Oh,
well, here's
Alex,
the thing.
that reminds me of
mythics.
me and my last girlfriend. There was a shock in every box.
Everybody knows that the track printing really sets the true rarity, which they don't publish, right? By putting a mythic stamp on it. Like, tell me that you don't have some sets where you pulled the same mythic 4, 5, 10 times, and one of the rares you didn't pull at all.
Justice?
What's that?
Are you talking about the track printing issues with Fiery Injustice, or just the mythos?
No, just in general. In general, it's not a track printing issue. It's just the way that they do it. They put some mythics on the sheets more commonly than some of the rares.
Yeah, Dominaria United had that dragon that would come up in like every other pack.
Well, speaking of putting mythics on sheets,
the Planeswalker one.
Oh, that was just another dirty joke. What can I say? I'm at that point.
So, one thing that's been actually in a lot of the MTG channels that I saw this week, so speaking about this week, keeping things current, a lot of people apparently are into Predator, because there's been a lot of talk this week, and it's been out for a while. The show Prey, that's Prey, on Hulu. And what's that?
I've heard of that.
I'm not going to play the trailer here, but I highly recommend that everybody goes out and watches at least the trailer for Prey, Prey, on Hulu. When I looked it up on Rotten Tomatoes, it had 93% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is really uncommon. I mean, that's like Lord of the Rings kind of territory.
Yeah, that's pretty high.
Yeah, it like on Metacritic and all that, it was like 73% or something, and it was like all these different things that I was like, woof. So it's getting universal praise for being a really good show. I haven't watched it yet myself. I wanted to do it this weekend and may still. But Prey, go out and watch it, folks. And that's going to about do it for me tonight, guys. You got anything else?
Did you hear that Arcane got an Emmy?
Oh, shit.
I did not, but that was a fantastic show. If you haven't fucking watched that, Arcane on
very good
Netflix, amazing. Even if you don't know shit about
League of Legends.
Oh, come on. League of Legends.
And the first few episodes of Arcane, I will say, are they're a little slow. It starts off slow, but it ends like the middle to the end is like balls to the wall, pretty great. It's one of the best animated shows I think I've ever watched. Honestly, I won Emmy for a reason.
Arcane. It's the whole reason I bought The Secret Lair. I bought 2 copies of The Secret Lair just because
it's the very first animated series based off a video game to ever win an Emmy. It's that good. It's pretty damn good. And you don't really need to know League of Legends to watch it. It helps.
It was a good show.
But you don't need it.
Yeah.
So if you haven't watched that, that's another great one. But Prey is kind of what's been more of a buzz this week in the MTG circle. So I'm assuming that lots of you also like it. I'm seeing some of you in the chat here telling me I have to go see it. I intend to. It's like I said, there's just so many hours in a day, folks, and I actually have a full-time job. So got a teenage daughter in the house.
You don't need a job,
right?
Do this all day.
Like I want to. Well, I don't want to do this all day. I like this. This is like the creamer in my coffee, the salt on my potatoes. It's too much, it would spoil it. But
sour cream on everything. I love sour cream.
Do you like sour cream on ice cream? That's gross.
Sure.
My God.
I want a Hershey's bar with sour cream.
If
I like to take my Snickers and dip it in sour cream.
God. Just imagine that.
That just about calls it. I think that's how we go out tonight. So remember to dip your Snickers in sour cream out there, folks.
Well, hey,
Stay frosty.
I'll let you guys go out and try that. Until next week, I've been Pat the Pauper, joined by these weird fucks. That's
See ya. Peace. Be good to each other.
Take care, guys.